Before each ride, perform the pre-ride inspection described in the owner's manual. Check the tires and wheels, controls and cables, lights and electronics, oil, fuel, and other fluids, the chassis and the suspension. See your owner's manual for guidelines on vehicle maintenance and specifications. Before starting the engine, check the tire pressure. Improper tire pressure or overloading can cause loss of control, resulting in severe injury or death. Check the brakes. Squeeze the handbrake levers. If they feel soft or spongy, they could be low on fluids or have a leak. Check the brake lever lock to make sure that it locks the handbrake lever in the braking position. Try pushing the vehicle with the handbrake locked. You shouldn't be able to move the vehicle unless you release the brake lever lock. See the operator's manual for brake maintenance, and don't use the vehicle unless the brakes are operating normally. Check that the throttle has a free and smooth range of motion. A sticky throttle is a dangerous condition that must be fixed before you ride. Check the steering components by turning the handlebars fully left and fully right. Fix any binding, restrictions, free play, or looseness in the steering before you ride. Look underneath the vehicle for any objects like grass, leaves, and sticks caught in the suspension arms, shock springs, or fenders, and clear any debris from the chassis before riding. In fact, anything that seems out of the order on the vehicle should be carefully checked and fixed before riding. See your operator's manual for details on preventative maintenance. Now, with the brakes on, start the engine. First, engage the brake lever lock. Select neutral. Turn on the ignition. Move the emergency stop switch to run. Now, press the starter button and let the engine idle until it warms up. Every rider must know his or her riding skill limitations and must practice safe driving techniques. Off-road riding requires active riding skills, meaning that you have to actively shift your weight while riding. Depending on the terrain, you'll be leaning forward, backwards, and side to side to better control the vehicle. Repeat the maneuvers learned in the training course. Begin with the easier maneuvers first, until you can perform all of them safely every time, and never do wheelies, jumps, or stunts. Turning is one of the most frequent causes of accidents. It's easier for the vehicle to lose traction or tip over if you turn too sharp or are going too fast. Slow down when you approach a turn. You should shift your weight into the turn, place more weight slightly forward, and accelerate only after you start coming out of the turn. The best way to shift your weight for turning is to move forward slightly and slide over to the side of the seat that is on the inside of the turn. Support your body weight on the inside footrest and lean into the turn. Pay attention to the vehicle. If the wheels start to slide or come off the ground, you need to slow down or make a wider turn. The sharper and quicker you turn, the more you must shift your weight, lean in, and slow down. Ride alert and be aware of possible hidden dangers when riding over unfamiliar terrain. Never ride at speeds that are too fast for the terrain, visibility, or your experience. Be aware that sand, snow, ice, and water affect traction and ride characteristics. If you start to skid or slide, slow down and turn your handlebars into the direction of the slide. Keep your weight forward and don't apply the brakes until you're out of the slide. If the vehicle slides straight ahead when you want to turn, slow down and move forward on the seat. Lean to the inside of the turn and turn the handlebars. Crossing obstacles like logs, rocks, and ruts is risky and should be avoided as much as possible. Your vehicle will respond differently to different obstacles, so be extra careful in these situations. Keep your speed slow, approach the obstacles, and stand up with your weight forward. Apply a little throttle when the tires touch the obstacle, and release the throttle when the front tires clear the obstacle. If only one tire will contact the obstacle, don't apply the throttle. Let the momentum of the vehicle carry you over the obstacle. Keep your body loose to absorb any shocks from the terrain. If the vehicle starts to tip, shift your weight to keep it in balance. Never cross water deeper than the footrests. Engine damage and injury can result from crossing deeper water. Also, the tires are very buoyant and can cause the vehicle to float. This is especially dangerous in fast-moving currents. Before crossing any water, know the depth of the water by stopping the ATV and physically checking its depth. And be on your guard for any obstacles in the water that may be hidden from view. Go slow and make sure you have a safe way out of the water on the other side. Once you clear the water, briefly apply the brakes to make sure they dry out and work properly.